you doing today, Doc?
I am doing well.
Doing well?
Excited about another opportunity.
How's this Texas heat doing?
I don't want it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't want it.
I'm trying to stay cool.
Yeah, but
but
one day at a time.
one day at a time. But I was just, like me, always thinking, processing my thoughts.
As usual.
As usual. I always come to you.
Yes, as usual.
with different thoughts, and then you help me kind of try to dissect them. But this concept of fear, and like just being like a fundamental human emotion, I was really been thinking about fear because I thought about throughout the years of some of the things that I know for a fact fear stopped me from going after. But I really wanted to know, like, what do you think about fear? And like, if you can share some ideas of like maybe how, if you've experienced fear and how you overcome and just kind of move forward from those fears.
Well, sometimes I don't even think about fear until somebody brings it to my attention. So, example, I cannot swim, but I love to parasail. And I was in Hawaii, and I did that, and then I was in Jamaica, I did that, I was in Aruba, did that, and one of the places my husband said, I've been thinking, why are you parasailing when you cannot swim? I said, what did you just say? Why are you parasailing when you don't know how to swim? And then I had to think, I had a moment, okay? I had to say, ooh, I got a little warm there. I mean, it made sense. And then I said, well, why are you bringing that to my attention?
Yeah.
I am up there just free, mind free, just peace. That was a very peaceful place until he brought it to my attention. And then I got nervous. And then I took they give you a little button or something and you can hit it if you need to come down. And let me bring me down.
See?
Bring me down now. And I was in a panic mode, but then I said, I was mad at him because I said, why did you do that to me? I was sailing. And see, I'm getting warm here even thinking about it because I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm not going to let that stop me because that's a peaceful place for me.
Yeah.
And if I see that as a peaceful place, why would I stop doing it?
Yeah. And just to make sure that I'm clear, it's just, from your perspective, you just believe there's always something external that reminds us of certain fears?
Sometimes there's that voice that, if I hadn't heard that voice, I would have been just as peaceful and just happy day, happy-go-lucky, everything. But the voice came.
Yeah.
So I believe that those voices are out there.
Yeah, and that even ties to just, I think fear too is we're afraid of what other people are gonna think. So other people's voices, we make up and we create this thoughts of like, if I do this, this person's gonna, and if I don't, let's say if I go after a goal and I don't succeed, my friends are gonna make fun of me. My friends are gonna think I'm not great at this, or, so I never even take the step towards whatever that goal is or whatever that action is because I've already created all these false ideas of if I fail, and it stops me. That's fear, right? So fear of unknown and rejection, and it all ties together and jumbles together. And I think a lot of it too is learned. Fear's learned growing up.
Your upbringing has a lot to do with that because if you have been sheltered in your life and not been allowed to do things, don't know what it's like to do this or that, and then you try to embark on something that somebody says, oh, you don't know anything about that. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Now, you're already not sure, but you're willing to do it because it's something different. But then the voice says, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Then that brings more fear, even more anxiety than maybe what you had before.
Yeah.
But you can't let that stop you because you know what? We're not here. God didn't put us here to be afraid of things.
Yeah. And I think the more you you step into those like fearful moments, it's like almost like a muscle. You get better.
Better
The more you
and
step into the unknown, the more you fail. You fail, and then I failed, but I didn't die. I'm still alive. I'm still okay. And I still, like, you might still achieve whatever that is. It might not have been what you wanted, right? But it's still something that aligns with what but you still achieved it. So there's awareness that has to be, you have to like,
But you said, but I failed. But did you fail? Because guess what?
that word is.
Did you fail?
That's
Because
true.
guess what? You did something. You tried something, and maybe it made you anxious, but
That's so.
you did something different.
So you're reframing it. It's not really failing. It's just you did it and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a skill or something you needed to learn to try again. Maybe it's just trying to redirect you to try another way. There's not just one way of doing something.
That's the point I want to make to you. It's not one way.
Yeah.
So just because you do this way and it maybe did not turn out the way you wanted to, I wouldn't say it's a failure, and I don't want people to think it's a fail.
Yeah.
It just didn't work.
Yeah.
But now try it another way.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 1,000%. And the thing is, this mindset, I haven't always had this way of thinking. Years ago, I know, like, when I would go for something and I didn't attain or achieve that, whatever that may be, I was hard on myself. And sometimes it scared me away from whatever that thing may be, or whatever.
Why were you hard on yourself?
I don't know. If I want to put words to it, maybe it's just the way that I was raised. I don't know. Maybe
That's
it's
what I'm
pressure.
wondering.
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering. Because, see, sometimes, the families want you to be this.
Yeah.
I want you to be that.
Yeah.
But you're not driven. You didn't want to do that. So you take a different angle, and then you might be seen as the black sheep of the family or so if you didn't follow the direction that your family wanted you to go in.
Listen, honestly, when I think about family and culture, I think there's a lot of fear-based beliefs with families and culture that you learn. When you're a child, you have to listen to what your parents say, the people
Right.
around you, your cultural community, and things of that nature. And a lot of the things that they believe is fear-based. They're like, if you don't become a doctor and make all this money, you're not gonna be anything in this life. That's a fear. To me, that's a fear-based belief. And what happens is I've seen a lot of people in my personal experience that become a doctor because there's a fear if they don't become this, they're not worth anything. And I was that guy that for the longest time I would tell myself the story like, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor. And then when in my late 20s to my 30s, I asked myself, is that what Christian really wants? Or is that what Christian has been told his entire life, right? That being a doctor would, now quote unquote make you successful. But I've realized through my own experience of doing and trying different things, there's other ways to be successful. Whatever that may mean for you. It can be financial success, spiritual success, mental success, whatever that is for you, right? But a lot of it, cultural, family. It's not here to just blame. I'm not putting blame on anyone.
No.
I'm just trying to really process.
Now, you make very good points there.
Yeah.
I got to tell you something. I had a fear of not being something, not doing something. And where did I get that from? I came from the country, living in the country.
Yeah.
And it was just, all we knew was the country and farms and this and that. And I had this fear of what am I going to do with myself? I don't want to be in the country. I don't want to live in the country. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I had no idea. I didn't get any advice from my family because, again, they didn't know. They're used to being in the country and doing, the farmland and having all of that. But for me, I wanted to do more. And I had this fear about, oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to get out of this?
That's a good fear.
How am I going to get out of this? No, it's scary because you.
Well, looking in retrospect, because look what you turned out like.
Well,
I admire who you are today.
Well,
that was
a lot of work. A lot of work now.
Back then, maybe it was a scary fear back then. But I'm looking in retrospect. I'm looking like from now who you are now.
So what I'm hearing you say is that fear it turned into something good that
Yes.
well, you can say that. I mean, it's glad that it But what if it doesn't? What if you're not, what if you are stuck there and can't get out?
Man, listen, I think it could turn out good in some areas, but it can be detrimental in others.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. So what if and I'm going to tell you, my parents didn't want me to go and leave. Let me tell you what I did. My brother came down from Illinois, and I had just graduated from high school, and I said, Mother, I'm going with him.
Just
I'm going with him.
yeah.
I'm going to go there because I have more opportunities to do things. I want to go there because then I want to, I think I want to be a nurse. That's what I want to be. And I know that we don't have the funds here to do it. And, I can go get a job close to where they live. And I was just looking at all different kinds of things to get myself psyched up to go. And I'm like, so I'm going to go with them.
When you made a decision to be a nurse, was there fear behind that when you were going to school? Were you afraid that maybe you wouldn't accomplish that? Was there ever that type of fear?
I didn't know any different. Honestly, I didn't know any different until I got into the program and started working in the program. And then I had lots of fear with my teachers because my teachers were not nice people.
Yeah.
And they kind of demote you or demean you. They talk to you a different way, like, oh, you're never going to be anything. In fact, one of my teachers failed me by 2 points. And she said, I told you you weren't going to make it out of this. And I said to her, you will see me again.
You know what you're saying?
Okay.
That resonates with me. I think in society, there's a lot of fear-based constructs that we live in. Like, it can be there's any country, anywhere in the world. I think they try to scare you into just staying in this box. I can use, let's just cops as an example. I feel like cops, they have a fear-based tactic, right? To don't mess up or else
I'm going to come
you're going to
get
get in trouble.
Yeah.
Anything. And that's just an example. I'm not, and this is how this is how I perceive things that are happening. But when you realize, like, what's the worst that could happen? Okay, you go after we'll die. We're going to die anyways at the end of the day.
Right.
But it's just, I feel like everything around you is trying to scare you or tell you, don't touch that, don't do this, because if you do this, that's going to happen. Like, we don't, like teachers, their approach is fear-based. From my own personal
Some of the
perspective.
teachers, now let's not talk about
Well, not
the
all of them, from my experience.
Some of
I
the
only speak
teachers-
from my experience.
Okay, but
Yeah.
not all the teachers are like that. I'm a teacher as well. Okay.
Well, you're not, yeah.
And you know what? They are out there, and they do
Yeah.
put the fear in you. But sometimes the fear needs to be put in you because that will get you up and get you moving to do better.
You think so?
I know better. I have seen it in my students. They are laxed until they get to the point where, look.
So fear
let
can
me
be
have
healthy.
Huh?
It can
It
be a
is
healthy thing.
healthy. It can be. It depends on how you express it to the person and how you do it, it's a scenario. Like you can tell them, this is something, look, this is what look, this school accepted you into this program because you are able to do this.
Yeah.
So why are you doing this? Why are you not doing your work? Why are you not doing this? And then they sit back and it's like, well, I guess you make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pay. Do you? If you have money to waste, give it to me. I can spend it.
Yeah.
But this is your education. Don't throw it away.
It's unique because I see your perspective on it, which is good and interesting because.
But it may not be everybody's perspective. That's just.
Well,
that's just some.
But I agree. Fear can be used in the positive way or the negative way. But one thing I want to say is, when we have conversation and things that we discuss, we're not here to give people advice on life. We just share the way we view things, our perspective, and we're entitled to it. And I'm not going to apologize for that piece.
No.
Because the thing is, I don't want to live my life in fear.
I don't either.
Because life is, I know it's cliche, but we always say life is short. It literally, you don't have a clue when you're gonna die. No one does. Like, we've seen the most healthiest people in the world run a marathon, doing all this, drop and have a heart attack out of nowhere. And they're the healthiest people in the world.
That's true.
So that's unpredictable when you die. So why the time that you spend here on earth, why live in fear on any level? I choose not to subscribe to that idea.
And it's great that you choose not to.
Yeah.
But the reality is this: it's out there, and there are people that have it,
Yeah.
and they don't know how to get rid of it, and they miss out on things. They miss out on opportunities because of the fear, and so they have to look at their mind.
It's all, to me. It's 100% of it is. It's all
is.
here.
It is.
It's all in your own mind. You're creating a narrative. You're creating the story. Whether it's learned behavior, whether it's conditioning from parents, family, friends, you're in control of it.
So how do you help these people? How do you help them to see they're in control?
I'm trying to just make sure that I'm trying to help myself.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm not a psychologist.
I'm not either.
That's not my goal. But the thing is, for me, I proactively just step into fear, no matter what it is. I don't fear no human, nobody. Like,
that's great. That is great.
But the thing is, I'm like 38 years old. It took a lot of years of living a fear-based life, having a fear-based ideal to be able to get to this point. And of course, you never, like, when it comes to something like this, it's never like, oh, you got it. It's a work in progress.
Sure is.
Because the old ways are all going to want to creep in. Ideas are going to want to kind of sneak back in there. But you have to remember who you are now and who you want to become, and not go back to those old fear-based ideas.
And I have taken some fear and made it into motivation, because I have had trials and tribulations in workplaces.
Yeah.
To where you are scared to come to work, you're afraid, are you coming to get fired, or what is going on because of how people talk to you.
That's a whole nother conversation.
It's another conversation. But the fear is there.
Fear is there.
But you can control some of that, and you need to work on ways to help you control the fear. It's not going away. You're going to have it.
You got it.
But you got to think about what each individual person can do.
Yeah, I think we all can face fear in our own way. Just find something that works for you. No, fear is not real. It's really, for me, it's in your mind. And Doc, this is great conversation. I really appreciate.
But make sure you
sharing
face
insight.
it. Fear has to be faced.
Yeah.
It's got to be embraced, and it's got to be acted on.
Yeah. Don't let it stop you.
Do not let it stop you.
We appreciate everybody for listening in. Thank you for your time, and we'll catch you on the next one.
The next time.
Thanks for your time, Doc.
Where are we going?
Full circle chat.
That's what I want to hear, that word every
All right, every time? All right.
Every time.
Have a good one.
Bye, y'all.